Welcome back to my reviews of the Beast Wars ongoing comic book series. The third issue has just been released, so let's take a look and see what we think of it. This issue begins with Nyx being tortured by the Predacons. Aw, poor Nyx. When Megatron says welcome to the dark side, this reminds me of when Terrorsaur said the same line in the episode Equal Measures.
Did I get fried? Is this?
Welcome to the dark side.
Nyx perks up when Megatron mentions Tarantulas. She calls him a butcher. Apparently, Tarantulas has a reputation. So, Megatron and Tarantulas basically say that they're going to torture Nyx for information before eventually killing her. Dinobot, disgusted by this, leaves. Back at the Axelon, Cheetor is concerned about Nyx and thinks that they should go out and look for her. But Optimus says that she was probably just flying around and got lost. I don't like how Optimus is being a negligent father. I mean, if this was your kid missing and it was dark, wouldn't you be a little more worried than this? When Rattrap tells Cheetor to never say those words out loud at a meta disco, for one, what words? Fully greased? Is there an innuendo that I'm not getting here? Also, does that mean that Rattrap likes to go dancing? Aw, now I want to see Rattrap dance. Also, this kind of reminds me of that bit in the Agenda Part 1, where Rattrap is telling Silverbolt all about Fembot Hooters.
Not only that, but the servant bots are walking around minus their torso plates, you know what I mean?
Yes, obviously a veritable nexus of culture and refinement.
I'm a little disappointed in Rhinox and Optimus making light of their current situation. Obviously, they don't know for sure that Nyx has been captured, but treating their predicament as a grand adventure seems a little too cavalier for them. Back on the dark side, we see Nyx suffering from being tortured. Megatron says how her systems will soon give out, but Nyx comes back with a sassy comment of her own, enraging Megatron into turning up the machine to full, causing Dinobot to interfere, which Megatron calls insubordination. Megatron then gives Nyx over to Tarantulas, who we see later releases her outside, but she's trapped in her robot mode. The device that Tarantulas uses here is a little reminiscent of the one that he used in the episode The Probe, although obviously that one did the reverse, and trapped them in their beast modes, not their robot modes. Funny how I mentioned this episode earlier this week in my review of the G1 episode, The Autobot Run, which also featured a transformation lock device. Anyways, enough shameless self-promotion. So, as we know from the show, the Maximals and Predacons cannot survive in their robot modes outside for long due to all the energon radiation. But luckily, Dinobot has finally had enough and destroys Tarantulas' device, allowing Nyx to transform and escape. And I like the part where Tarantulas says that his transformation lock device was his baby, and Dinobot says that his baby was an abomination. That was pretty funny. So Megatron orders the Predacons to destroy Dontobot, but he easily fights them off while preaching about his values of honor. And I also really like how even while he's fighting her, Dinobot tries to mentor Scold, saying that it's not too late for her. It's pretty sweet. Could Scold switch sides and join the Maximals too? But this is just before Dinobot picks her up and throws her at Megatron, which again is kind of funny.
Nice throw!
He then initiates a lockdown of the dark side, trapping the Predacons inside their own ship. And this issue ends with Megatron saying the typical bad guy stuff of, "Oh, when I get my hands on Dinobot."
I'll get you, Gadget, if it's the last thing I do, Gadget!
This issue also ends with a simple "to be continued." No title or hint of what the next issue will be about. Although in the next cover page, we do see Dinobot in front of two moons. So maybe we'll see Dinobot and Nyx meet up and join the Maximals. That's my guess at least. And that would probably make the most sense considering his character and history. So this was a really good issue of Beast Wars. Obviously, I didn't like seeing my poor girl Nyx being tortured. But I am glad that she is finally free. And she, and presumably Dinobot, are on their way to the Maximals. And then, maybe once all the players are in place, we can finally get some unexpected plot points that deviate more from the cartoon. Again, this is a really good issue. Please pick it up and read it for yourself so we can support this book and get more Beast Wars fiction. I would also like to touch on some of the art and letters section briefly before we end. There is a joke in here about how Ducky, apparently that's what we're calling Megatron's rubber ducky, just Ducky, about how it might be a secret transformer. So now I wish there was a special release of Kingdom Megatron that came with a repaint and retool of Quackles. By the way, thanks to everyone who reminded me in my recent Tuesday toy review that the rubber ducky Botbot's name is Quackles. And yes, look forward to seeing him in future Tuesday toy reviews. But yeah, I'd love to see a repaint and remold of Quackles into Ducky as he appears in the comic. Maybe even a Transmetal version like in the Beast Wars cartoon. Hey, you know how they have those Walmart exclusive Netflix repaints? Maybe they could do something like that for the comics. Obviously Kingdom Megatron's toy looks very different than his appearance in the comic book. But even if they just changed the colors a little bit, I would totally rebuy Kingdom Megatron if he came with the Ducky figure. Oh, and they could totally remold Airazor into Nyx. I mean, they would basically have to remold every single part of her, but if it gets me an actual Nyx figure, I'd be all for that. And of course, I love all the cute Nyx art that they printed in here. I just wish that they credited them with more than just Shannon and Gilly so I could go see the full-size art and like it and retweet it on Twitter or wherever. Anyways, great job Shannon and Gilly, and of course Leo and Andrew too. I like your art as well. Oh, and they do give us a hint at the next issue, but it's in the Maximals mailbag this time. Nyx and Dinobot on the run. Just like I thought. And like the last issue, this one includes a preview of another Transformers crossover with another brand. But this time, it's Back to the Future. And you guys know how much I love Back to the Future. I think I might just have to start reviewing this series as well. But I'll have to see if I can fit it into my schedule. As always, let me know what you thought of this latest issue of Beast Wars. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next month for Beast Wars Issue 4. Or actually, I was just checking, and apparently issue 4 doesn't come out until June 30th? So that's more than 2 months, almost 3. Although issue 5 is also dated for June 30th. So maybe Comixology made a mistake and issue 4 is actually coming out sooner? But anyways, I'll see you here for the next issue whenever it does come out. Maybe even sooner if I decide to try and squeeze in the Back to the Future crossover comics too.